to get to a mindset where my vision is clear and my emotions aren't owning me. It's hard to act when you feel so stuck. But together, this month, we are going to break through the darkness of our emotions and step back into the light of God's peace. It isn't going to be easy. In fact, it's going to hurt. But what we are going to find is that our emotions, in light of the love of God and who He says we are, changes everything. And when you are given the opportunity to take that step back into His peace, back into the design for who He created you to be as a mom, you can take that step in confidence, trusting that God is leading you back where He longs for you to be, in His perfect peace. Do you find yourself sitting on your bed like I was that day, friend? Are you tired of being stuck in the chaos of your emotions? Are you ready to break free of the chains enslaving you? What if you stood up against the lies of the enemy and refused to be a slave to them any longer, but became the woman God designed you to be and have your motherhood redeemed? Are you ready to take a stand? A stand against the loneliness, the lack of confidence, the insecurity, the anger, the sadness, the doubt, the anxiety, the exhaustion, the envy, the things that keep you up at night that you can't stand to hang on to a moment longer. It's time to reclaim our emotions, hand them back over to the one who created us to experience them, and renew our minds in the freedom of Christ. Are you ready? You keep Him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because He trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord God is an everlasting rock. Isaiah 26, 3-4. Day 1. The stand to become more and the lie of the big girl panties. For freedom, Christ has set us free. Stand firm, therefore, and do not submit again to a yoke of slavery. Galatians 5:1. They laid that baby on my chest, and everything changed. Half of my husband, half of me, and a part of my heart that I never knew was there, was instantly overflowing with love. Fierce, unwavering, terrifying love. In an instant, the love of this babe changed my heart. And in those moments, everything was perfect, and I found myself wondering how I ever lived a day of my life without her. In those moments, everything was just as they told me it would be. But nobody told me just how fast it could all change or how broken I could become. When I was pregnant with our first daughter, I remember being given more than enough advice from other mamas. Because it's the duty of those of us who have gone before to pass the gift of this knowledge on, right? Women would sit me down at church and take me by the hands, telling me how happy this next chapter of my life was going to be. Ladies sat around at my baby shower as we oohed and awed over teeny tiny baby clothes and told me to savor every moment of their littleness. Even the random woman at the grocery store felt it her job to tell me about the overwhelmingly beautiful experience that I was about to partake in. But nobody told me. Nobody told me that the emotions of motherhood could make me become completely undone. Nobody told me in the midst of the happiest days of my life and in the songs of the Midnight Lullabies I would sing in my daughter's nursery that I would find myself on my knees, trapped in the fury of my emotions and wondering who I had become and where the woman I once was had gone. Everyone had failed to mention that Satan was on the prowl to steal my motherhood, and that he would start with the rawest emotions of my heart to do it. One of the costliest pieces of advice that I was given by these well-meaning women was that of the big girl panties. They talked about them like they were a prize to be worn, a trophy of strength and resilience. It's based on the belief that mothers must not give into the frailty of their own hearts. When one pulls up the big girl panties, they simultaneously push down all of the emotions. For most, it is the battle cry of motherhood. But the big girl panties came at a price, one that I, like most women, was willing to pay. And that's the price of vulnerability. Not just with everyone else, but with ourselves and our unwillingness to let God into the sacred space of it either. This pushing down